God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey, eh?
God bless football, Fuentes.
God bless football, Stugotz.
We are getting closer, fellas. We are getting closer to actual football games being played. Are you excited, Mikey A?
People are working on it. People are showing up. It's hot. They're wearing those funky helmets. They're working on it. I'm excited.
How do you feel about the funky helmet, Billy? Do you know the helmet he's talking about?
I do.
Yeah, it looks weird, right?
It's going to take some getting used to. I'm curious to see how many players play with the guards during the actual game, because I think they can wear them this season. So we'll see how many people opt to do that and what it looks like during an actual game. It'll be interesting. Right. Hey, everybody's in camp. Everybody's reported. I mean, not every player, but every team in camp. It started. Football has started, Stugotz.
Football season has started. I'm so excited for it. I need it so badly in my life. I'm up here in New York right now, and I'm telling you, like, it's the only market in America where they don't care if it's July because they're still talking baseball. They don't want football to start. They want baseball to never end. It's the weirdest thing, man.
Not Yankees.
It is so strange. I will also tell you this, though. I'm sorry, Billy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, not Yankees fans. My understanding is that Yankees fans think the season's over already while being up like 20 games over 500.
Yeah, I was blasting them today. Yeah, right.
It's more of a, we see how this is going to end. It's going to be, yay, we made the playoffs. Oh, we got swept.
I know, but you're 3.5 up in the wild card. Jerry Recco actually said this on WFAN. They were 59-42 at the time he said it. He said it felt like they were 42-59. How is that possible? You can't be 59-42 and it feels like you're 42-59. It's impossible. I'm telling you.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, my,
you're a Jets fan. The same way? Really?
You agree with Recco? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I could see how you'd feel that way. I don't know that I'd go that far, but I could see how you'd feel that way.
And I'm saying Billy would give anything to have a baseball team that was 59-42 that felt like it was 42-59. Am I right, Billy?
I mean, the fact that you guys are complaining about making the playoffs every year, you have 27 titles. Like, get out of here. Get out of here.
But Billy, see, your team makes the playoffs and wins the World Series, or they don't make the playoffs. Like, yeah. There's something to be said about making the playoffs and then watching your team have to go home. Like, we could have beat that team. But
the Marlins season's over in July every year. Like, we're over. The season's already over. Confirmed.
This season, they
opens your schedule.
Wait, you have it going that long? Fuentes?
That's what I'm saying. Like, in June it was over.
They traded Luis Arias May 3rd this year.
That's
like,
what it was.
A month into the season, we're like, never mind. And the GM said, like, this wasn't our year. And it's like a month in. We're not here to talk about
20 games in.
We should do God bless baseball.
No, we're not here to talk about. We're not here to talk about.
No, I'll tell you who should. It's Jerry Recco. I mean, that guy. Well, him and Giannotti. They don't want baseball to end ever. Anyway, we have a lot to get to today. More Mike Lee. I am excited for that. We have a Fuentes top 5. We have Billy's story of the week, and I'm certain we will have more games along the way. Billy, what's going on with Tua down there in Miami? I'm up in New York right now doing some shows for WFAN as we record this. They are very excited about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They are too excited about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I would prefer they tone it down. But Billy, what is the latest here with Tua and the Dolphins?
The latest that I saw on ESPN today was Tua's practice status fluid amid contract talks.
Really?
He's gonna practice gone. Tua's not gonna sit out. Let's be real.
He's too nice.
He's too nice. He's too nice to have a holdout. It's not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna play 18 games without a contract.
He's gonna volunteer. He's like, oh guys, want me to play all the preseason games too? Let's do it.
Skyler can't come in today? Oh, okay. Yeah. I got him. Don't worry.
It's so weird.
Every snap.
How do you guys feel about Jet fans being very excited about their football team? Because I am telling you, I'm in New York. I feel it. They're calling into the radio station. They think this is the year, Mikey A.
Did you see USA Today's official prediction has the Jets winning the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did.
I don't think I've ever felt so bad about something said so nice about my team than I do right. Like, I wanted to throw up when I read it because you just know it's all going to go downhill.
I believe it's the first time anyone has predicted the Jets will win the Super Bowl. I do. I can't recall in all the years rooting for the Jets where someone had them as a preseason favorite to win the Super Bowl. I cannot recall that.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I feel nauseous about it.
Right. I know. It's going to be interesting what happens here with Tua. It's also, the same thing is the same conversations that we've had about Tua are going on with Daniel Jones, Billy. Daniel Jones already got his contract. He got it based off of one playoff victory a couple of years ago. He is guaranteed $47 million coming up this year. And if you've watched Hard Knocks, you have seen Joe Shane, who has been on this show, trying to move up in the draft to get a quarterback, even though he has Daniel Jones at $47 million. They end up taking a wide receiver. I do wonder how Daniel Jones experiences watching that play out in the draft room where they have a quarterback, yet they're trying to trade up to get someone they think is better. But they are kind of talking about some of the same stuff we have talked about, where Daniel Jones, give him one more year. If it doesn't work out, the Giants can opt out of that deal and maybe go after Dak Prescott. It's kind of crazy. And I keep telling them that Dak is not going to the Giants. And they keep asking why, Billy. And I said, that's because Dak is going to the Dolphins. How about that?
I know you keep doing this Dak to the Dolphins thing. I'm wondering if there is a player in the NFL who has had more make it or break it seasons than Daniel Jones.
Ooh.
While still being in the exact same position.
Well, kind of Dak too, though. Because it's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, Dak,
every
Dak
year is
a
make it or break it.
Make it or break for Dak.
Yeah. But I think with Dak, like, a lot of people are like, yeah, like, he belongs. Every year, it's kind of like we're looking for the reason for Daniel Jones to prove that he belongs in the NFL. And then, like, we don't really see it, but, like, the next year we're still there. We're like, this is his year. Make it or break it here, Daniel Jones. I think people want Daniel Jones to make it, but he keeps breaking it.
Yep. Can we play a little game of make it or break it?
Okay.
Is this a make it or break it year for Deshaun Watson?
No.
Because of the money?
Because of the contract.
Right.
That's a good point.
He doesn't have to make it. He already broke the bank.
He's got to make it no matter what.
I was trying to figure out.
And he already broke the team. I mean,
I was trying to figure out the game. You set it up like you wanted the answer to be make it or break it, and Mikey's just like, no.
Right. Well, that's true. Make it or break it, Mikey. Deshaun Watson.
You asked, is it a make it or break it year? And I said, no.
Make it or break it. Yeah, but you have to answer correctly.
Oh, he breaks it. He breaks it because who cares?
Make it or break it year. I got to find a good guy. I was going to say Trevor Lawrence, but he's in the same boat. They're paying him a lot of money. Make it or break it, Jalen Hurts.
Do you think they're going to get rid of Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
No.
I do.
No. Sirianni's gone before Hurts is gone.
100%.
This is a make it or break it year for Sirianni.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same thing.
Okay. Now you're playing a better game,
I would
Billy.
say the same thing for the coach in Buffalo, too. Like, Josh Allen's there until he retires. Yeah, McDermott's more make it or break it than Josh Allen.
Now, he's been through a lot of make it or break it years, though, McDermott, right?
He has. I didn't think he was going to survive last year. I thought last year was the year that McDermott was going to be gone, and then they got rid of Ken Dorsey, became the sacrificial lamb, and then they kind of, at the end of the year, picked things up a little bit, and McDermott survived again. Yeah. And then Ken Dorsey, who everybody was like, oh my God, this is like the next head coach, has now just fallen off of the face of the earth. Because as soon as he was gone, then the offense started looking better. And then it's like, oh, maybe he's not a genius after all.
How about Kyle Shanahan? Make it or break it.
He's what?
No.
At some point, you have to go to the No. Mikey A. I don't care. At some point, I don't care how many people tell me this guy is a genius. He is so ahead of the curve. He is thinking differently than every other coach. At some point with this roster, a roster this talented, you have to not only make the Super Bowl, but you have to win one. I mean, come on.
What do you think would happen to the fabric of existence if the Bills met Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl and one of them has to win it? Wow. Like, I'm not sure either of them actually can. The universe won't allow either of them to win that.
The thing about Shanahan is, like, if you can keep taking Jimmy Garoppolo's and Brock Purdy's to the Super Bowl, I don't think you'll ever get fired.
Yeah, but that's his trick, right? He never takes a big-time quarterback, therefore he never gets the blame for when they lose. It goes to Brock Purdy or Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's a good trick.
It is.
It's a good trick.
It's kept them employed.
Yeah.
Can I just for a quick moment interrupt this game with the game that I came up with?
Ooh, the game within the game.
Sure.
All right, so I want to interrupt Make It or Break It with a new game that I call, Hey, Did You Hear?
Oh, wow.
Ooh, a game within a game.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear how this one's played.
All right, so you mentioned Kyle Shanahan. Hey, did you hear Kyle Shanahan say...
Did you hear is the name of the game?
Yeah, Hey, Did You Hear is the name of the game.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Did you hear Kyle Shanahan say that Bill Belichick declined a job offer to join the 49ers staff? He essentially said, you never know. He's a football guy, and I couldn't believe he was a head coach, so I reached out to him. It was kind of like, you can do whatever you want. Hey, did you hear?
How are we supposed to respond?
Yeah, that's the thing about the game. The game
just
requires,
a yes or no.
Yeah, a response.
You say yeah, I did hear. That's crazy. Or, oh no, I didn't hear that. Well, that's crazy.
I did hear that, so I get a point.
You win.
I win. I'm a winner.
You win. You heard it.
I didn't hear it. I'm glad I'm hearing it now. On Bill Belichick, what he wants is Kyle Shanahan's job.
I mean, he does.
He's not going to be on his staff.
I feel like that's the way to get the job, though, right? Is that you kind of go there and then you kind of just undermine him, undercut him. You talk to the owner. You start saying, I've been looking over what's going on here. And I got to tell you the difference here in the championship culture is
a little
not the players.
Game of 49ers.
It's the head coach is really the problem. If I'm going to really break this down for you, it's you don't want to inject Bill Belichick into that system. I don't think if you're anyone, because once he's in, he's going to get his way. I think, right? He's a sweet talker, Bill Belichick. Can we agree on that?
Really? That's what you
feel
have.
bad for the Manning cast.
Yeah, what's the saying? You invite the wolf into the hen house.
Sure.
You let the guy in the door.
That's, I mean,
before you know, you're out of it.
Don't be surprised when he has your job.
Correct.
Exactly right. I was saying,
dangerous game there from Kyle.
Red flag. Kyle Shanahan inviting him into the celebration there.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like a panic move.
Wow, panic or calm?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I like that panic or calm.
Staple.
Very exciting. Wait, so you guys are saying that you don't bring Belichick? Does Belichick have a better chance of getting the job if he's on Shanahan's staff or not on Shanahan's staff? Because if Shanahan has Belichick on the staff, they get off to a bad start. Some of that blame goes to Belichick as well, does it not?
I don't know. I don't think he's going to come in to be a fault. Look at Antonio Pierce. He was there. He was the one that took over, and now he's the head coach.
Right.
Belichick, I mean, if he's on a staff and there's a coaching change, which there will not be, and I don't think anyone thinks that Shanahan is going anywhere. I don't think anyone thinks that this is a make it or break it year for Kyle Shanahan. But if it was, and Bill Belichick's on the staff, he would at least finish out the season, right? Then if he turns things around, hey, we were wrong about old Bill. And it's a perfect spot because they're such a talented team that if something happens, that things go off the rail and they fire Shanahan, Belichick can get wins with that team.
Belichick would win 9 Super Bowls with that team. I mean... He would.
So you think the problem in San Francisco is Kyle Shanahan?
I think Kyle Shanahan, there is some pressure for Kyle Shanahan to actually win a Super Bowl. Yes. And if it's not this year, it will be in the next, couple of years. You can't have this kind of talent, and they have the most talented roster top to bottom, I think, in the NFL, and not win a Super Bowl and call yourself the genius coach. I mean, eventually the San Francisco 49ers are going to want to win with this group of players. If he can't win, I would assume they'd look to someone else. And why not look to Bill Belichick?
So let's say Belichick goes over to San Francisco, right? And this is some crazy world. Belichick goes over to San Francisco.
They were in the Super Bowl last year.
They fire Kyle Shanahan mid-season. Yeah. Bill Belichick takes over the team, he rights the ship, gets them back on track, and wins a Super Bowl with the 49ers, something Kyle Shanahan could never do. Does that sting Brady, winning a Super Bowl with the 49ers?
With his hometown team.
Exactly right. The team that he was connected to for a long time, rooted for. Does that make it sting for Tom Brady? Does he then consider maybe coming back?
Wow, to one-up Belichick.
Yeah.
Right. He would have to go back to New England, Brady, and win a Super Bowl in New England without Belichick.
I
love
he wins
that. Everything.
Yeah. Right? I love that closure. He plays with a different number because his number's retired. So he says, you know what, I'm going to do a new number now, new coach, new number. Old Tommy's back. He wins another one for Mr. Kraft. I don't know why they all call him Mr. Kraft. Yeah. Have you noticed that?
Because he writes the checks.
No, yeah, but no one calls him like Robert or no one calls him like Bobby.
Bobby Kraft.
Yeah, no one calls him Bob. They all just call him Mr.
Bobby
Kraft.
K.
It's like, I feel like if I'm Mr. Kraft, I'd be like, hey, guys, like, just call me Bob.
Yeah, feel free to call me Bob once in a while.
Exactly right. Throw in a Bob every now and then. You know what I mean, Mr. Kraft, that was my dad. That's what you say. You always say that.
So you have Belichick coming back. So you have Brady going back to New England, wearing a different number, winning a Super Bowl, sticking it to Belichick, and they retire a second Brady jersey?
Wow. Okay. So I wonder if in this scenario, they're playing against the 49ers in the Super Bowl, because then you
Yeah.
retire a second jersey for sure.
Oh, my God.
Then you retire a second jersey
versus
for sure.
Belichick in the Super Bowl. Yo,
I mean, that's a game for everything.
how much money would Netflix pay for that game?
Well, I don't think that
No, of course
CBS
not.
or whoever would just sell the Super Bowl
Well, I know,
that year. But could you
but it would have a
imagine?
number is what I'm saying.
Could you imagine though? Like if this is going to be the biggest Super Bowl ever, and then the company that's broadcasting the game decides, you know what?
Putting it up for sale.
Exactly
Up for
right.
bidding. Up
We're
for
gonna
bidding.
we're gonna turn this into a VRBO for the week. You get the game, just pay us rent.
Jeff Bezos versus Netflix.
Oh.
Who gives out more money?
10 years of revenue for selling
it would
one
be like
game.
a $20 billion game.
Is there a bigger game?
Fuentes, you
want?
did stumble upon a good idea, though, I think. I like the idea of no television network having the rights to the Super Bowl, seeing what the matchup is, and a bidding war.
And then you
Ooh,
bid.
an auction. you know that would be a thing, right? They'd make that a TV special. It'd be the Super Bowl auction.
I'd watch.
So you'd have
I'd watch.
it. We're gonna start out with the Pro Bowl games. Who wants dodgeball? Who wants dodgeball? And then you move your way up.
You talk to the representative for CBS.
Why,
Yeah.
why are you doing it as an auctioneer?
Well, because it's a Super Bowl auction. You put out the Super Bowl. You start out with the little things like, we have the Pro Bowl, we have whatever other theatrics.
Right.
Hard
along
Knocks
with
TV networks. I'd watch all of it.
Yeah, you bring out Bruce Buffer. He says, "Let's get ready to rumble," and then the auctioneer comes out. He starts doing the bidding, and then the guy from CBS is like dejected in the corner. He's like, "Oh man, I really thought I had him at $25 billion." And then Bezos comes out riding a horse. He's covered in armor. He's like, "This is mine." And then he bets, boom, $50 billion on the Super Bowl.
I do love that.
Yeah.
This is great.
So let's play it out. Let's assume Brady did come back. Belichick went to San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan was fired, and it was Niners Patriots. How high do you think the bidding would go to get that game if you're a network?
More.
$10 billion.
More.
$10 billion.
Just
The answer is more.
More.
Now, logistically, it seems very difficult to do this. I will admit. It seems this would be a very
Just
quick.
logistically.
Seems like it'd be a very quick turnaround from championship weekend to where we airing the Super Bowl. But what are you gonna do? This is why
God
you
bless
play.
football.
This is why you play. Hey, did you hear? And we're back. Stugotz, we have a number of games to get to today. I know that I'm a serious man. I think most people would agree. I'm a serious man. I like to get to business. I'm not a man about.
I agree.
Not a man about games, but we have a lot of games to play today. We have a top 5 from Fuentes. We have more Mike Lee to get to.
Yeah.
Did you just open a window? What happened there?
I turned the light on. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. So, anyways, I have a story that made me go this week. Also, if you want to get to that at some point, we have some headlines we can get to. We have a number of things. Oh, NFL.com is releasing the top 100 players. I don't know if you saw that. Very big week. Right now, we have 100 to 70 have been released. So we know 100 to 70 of the top 100 NFL players. Yeah.
Who is the 70th best player in the NFL according to this list?
All right. So you want to go to number 70? You said the top 100. Yeah. Okay. Give me one second.
Number 64.
Like, are you thrilled that you're number 70 on that list? I mean,
I think that you know what? I got to be honest with you. We have 100 to 71. 70 comes out in the next round, but I will give you number 71 if you'd like. Number 71 on the top 100 is Laramie Tunsil.
Really?
Yep. Up 14 points from last season.
Gas mask kid.
Hey, Stu, 72 was Garrett Wilson.
Get out of here.
Up 2.
I have Tunsil 54 on my list, so I mean, I disagree with that. He's one of the best tackles in the game. I mean,
all right.
Dolphin legend.
On my list.
Can I tell you?
Les Miles call you back yet?
no.
I'm just looking here. Can I tell you who number 75 is? And this is where things get interesting.
Really?
Number
At
75. Justin Herbert. Down 43 spots from last season.
Fair.
It's fair for him to go down 43 spots?
What has he done?
Yeah, he had a bad year.
At number 79, we have someone that dropped down 61 spots from last year, and Minka Fitzpatrick.
If I said to you that Justin Herbert 2 years ago would be on a list of top 100 players in the NFL, it would be that far down on the list. You'd be shocked, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You figure he'd be top 5 at this point.
Oh,
He's supposed to be.
yeah.
I know.
That's what they're telling
We were
us.
told he would be.
Billy's not a fan of Herbert.
I don't know know if that's entirely fair.
He's not a fan of everybody talking about Herbert. I think
that's closer. That's closer to fair. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have one for Fuentes that he's gonna love, and I have one for Stugotz and Mikey that they're gonna hate.
Okay.
You want the one that
Where's Aaron?
Do you want the one that you love or the one that you hate?
I want the one that we hate. Okay.
The one that you hate.
First.
Dropping down 41 spots to number 92 on the top 100, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my God.
Surprised he made the list.
The 90.
You know what? I actually like it.
Surprised he
I
made
like
the
it. I
list.
don't want the expectations to be too high. I like that.
Yeah?
I mean, people are predicting them to go to the Super Bowl. I need this. That's good. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Let Aaron climb up the rankings
Aaron Rodgers.
with his play this season.
I hate that he didn't play in a full game or a full series, actually, and he's still on the list.
Body of work.
Anybody needs a chip on their shoulder, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. He loves a chip on his shoulder. He does.
Love a good chip on the shoulder.
Now, here's the thing, guys, and Fuentes. This actually may be sad news for you. This person went up in the NFL top 100, moved up 2 spots to number 94 on the list. Trevor Lawrence.
About where he is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's
90s.
crazy.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
Exactly where he belongs.
And he
He's
improved.
going to make a career of being in the 90s.
He improved 2 spots to 94. Just signed $50 million
on
a
the
year.
rise.
Crazy. Anyway.
Doug
Peterson,
Peterson, hot
45
seat, right?
he'll be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson, now or never? I mean, yeah.
Ooh, now or never. That's
like
another
that.
game.
Take it or break it.
You forgot the name of the game, but that game works. Now or never.
This one is better.
The thing is with Doug Peterson, I don't think there's ever a never. There's always a next with Doug Peterson.
I feel like once you get a Super Bowl, there's always like, when's the next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He got a Super Bowl and was fired 2 years later by the team he won it for, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are there people still calling Bill Cowher every offseason? Like, oh, maybe this will be the job that'll bring him out of retirement.
I would say I want to put together a top 5 list of coaches that teams are still calling, because not only do I believe they're calling Bill Cowher, they're calling Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells as well. Okay.
When let me ask you guys a question. When there is a coach firing, let's say the firing happens right after a game, right? So Sunday happens, 1:00 game happens, we're in week like 10 of the season, whatever, and it's like, okay, this person is out. We need an interim coach now. And then like Fox NFL Sunday or CBS NFL coverage happens. Who do you think, whose phone rings first? Like if the phone rings, who do you think grabs their phone first and that's the one that's ringing for the new coaching hire?
My guess would be Cowher.
You think Cowher is always like he's just ready for the phone to ring?
Yeah.
And who do you think is the person that's looking at their phone and they're like, is the reception bad in here? Like what's happening? Why aren't they calling me? Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I don't think
here?
Jimmy Johnson cares enough anymore to be that guy.
I think Jimmy is the guy. I think people call Jimmy and he's like, when are you going to learn your lesson? I'm not coming back.
He made the same call for 15 years. I'm done with this.
I feel like Jimmy has a price.
I don't know.
You don't think Jimmy has a price?
No, I don't think him or Cowher do. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is the one who keeps looking at his phone.
Right,
And
Bill
it's not
Belichick
ringing.
is the one looking at the phone.
Bill Belichick gets a phone and they're like, oh my God, like, Bill, we have this game that's going to be on Netflix. You want to break down some X's and O's on Netflix? Like, no, I want a coach. Damn it. Stop calling me for broadcasting jobs. Guy's going to be working every game of every network. He's going to have more jobs than he is. His days are going to be longer breaking down film for all these analyst gigs that he has, hoping to get the next coaching job.
Nick Saban definitely has a busy phone when somebody's fired.
Do you think Nick Saban got calls this offseason?
For sure.
Do you think Nick Saban got NFL calls this offseason?
Oh, no.
I'm sure he got the tires kicked a little bit. Like, hey, it's been a while. Why don't you,
What about Nick?
Yeah. Arizona's nicest time of year.
What? You guys really think Nick Saban has another coaching gig in?
No,
him?
I'm just saying he's getting calls.
No, Billy. I believe that an NFL organization this past offseason spent some time kicking the tires around on Nick Saban and whether or not they should make a call to him. That I do believe, yes.
There was at least a discussion before the call, at least.
Right. But no call was ever made.
But they had a discussion about, hey, who can we call? Nick's available.
Yeah.
Would you think that Nick Saban would go to the NFL again?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so either.
Well, you said Jimmy has a price. You don't think Nick has a price?
Nick had whatever he wanted in Alabama, and he walked away. I think that Nick walked away because he knew the walls were closing in on him, and he knew that he lost. I don't want to say he lost his touch, but like it was a different game, right? So like the longer that he went, that he wasn't able to like adapt and win at the game that was currently happening, the more people then question his, I think, greatness of all time.
I have a question. Do you think that, say Saban ends up winning the national title that year, do you think he still retires, says, hey, this is not for me anymore, even though...
If he wins it last year, you're saying?
Yeah, like he would have been like... Because he went out in the top 4, right? So he would have...
They made it to the playoff last year with perhaps the worst team he's had.
And so he wasn't that far away. So you think if
they lost to the national championship.
So if he would have won the title, I think he would have been like, I'm out anyway.
No,
you don't think so?
But Billy, I will say this: the one blemish, I guess, on Nick Saban's resume is his NFL coaching career. Was his time with the Miami Dolphins, and so maybe there's an itch that he wants to scratch. Like, hey, I'm a good coach. I'm a good coach at at the college level, at the professional level, and I want to take another crack at it. Maybe I'm just saying.
You don't think if Dallas calls? That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, it has to be the exact right situation with the right amount of talent. Yes.
Oh boy.
I mean, Billy, if Nick Saban got a call from Jerry Jones to coach the Cowboys, you don't think he'd be interested?
I don't think that Nick Saban is going to correct his shortcomings 20 years after his failures.
Yeah, I think he already accepted that.
Yeah, I think he knew like
I'm okay being the best college guy ever.
Yeah,
that's
he accepted it, made up for it. He overcompensated.
And by the way, he was so good at it that like people will just call him the greatest coach ever. Not even like say college specifically. It's like he's the greatest coach ever.
We have him in like sitting around with great NFL coaches despite never winning anything in the NFL. Like when you think of the greatest football coaches of all time, Nick Saban and like maybe one other college guy, you put in that list, and that's it.
I mean, I think Belichick.
No, obviously I'm saying.
But you're saying college,
right? You list all these great. Like,
no, he's saying the greatest coaches
ever.
If you had a Mount Rushmore,
right.
Saban, Belichick, and
Shula.
I guess he's saying maybe
whoever.
Another.
Yeah, but
Shula.
Let's say he's still the most winningest coach in history.
Have you heard of Bill Walsh? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But you're gonna put Nick Saban in like this great football coach thing, even though he wasn't really great in the NFL. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh man.
I do think it bothers Nick that he couldn't have success in the NFL. I think that bothers him. I'm not saying he's going to coach again, but I think given the right situation, like the Cowboys, it's something he would consider. He'd kick the tires on. Okay.
I remember talking to Herm Edwards before he took the Arizona State job, and we asked him if there was a job he would go back to the NFL. He says, "No, I wouldn't take I'm not no teams. I don't even answer the phone." And we said, "What if the Eagles called?" And he stopped and he went, "My wife would have to say no to that one." And I think that's what the Cowboys are for Saban. I think he'd say no to everybody, but if Jerry called, he'd be like, "Miss Terry, you're going to have to say no."
I don't think so, because he would want the full autonomy. Like he would want to do everything, and there's no way Jerry's giving that up. Doesn't matter.
No, but if you're Jerry and you're calling Bill Belichick, you're giving him everything. That's the deal. When you call Bill Belichick, you give him everything.
How many old guys want to give up power? I don't know too many.
Interesting.
I'm trying to
more Mike Lee.
I'm trying to find here, and I wanted to surprise you guys with it, but I'm trying to find here, and we'll play more Mike Lee because it's going to take me a while. I'm trying to find the college equivalent of Nick Saban's NFL career in terms of win percentage. So Nick Saban as an NFL coach with the Dolphins had a 469 win percentage, and I'm trying to find a 469 win percentage college football coach to say, oh my God, Nick Saban is...
So Les Miles is a better college football coach.
Yeah, I was going to say check Les Miles.
College coach that Nick Saban was an NFL coach?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. You think you know a guy.
So we didn't get to more Mike Lee last segment because we got distracted and then started talking about a world in which Nick Saban came back and coached in the NFL to prove to people that he was a great NFL coach, even though he kind of failed spectacularly the first time around. So anyways, Mikey, I apologize to that. The floor is yours for a new game of more Mike Lee.
Well, I appreciate that, Billy. And just for that, we'll start with more Mike Lee for you to want as your next head coach. Dan Campbell or Matt LaFleur?
Dan Campbell.
Just because you like him?
Yeah, just because I like him. Matt LaFleur bores me.
Yeah. I mean, both those guys aren't going anywhere.
Well, of course, but
right.
In the more Mike Lee world, they are.
I would take Dan Campbell. I'm with Billy. I take Dan Campbell.
You guys want the leader as opposed to the X's and O's guy?
I want a guy that kind of projects football.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell does that.
I want a guy that's
does
fun.
anyone project football more than Dan Campbell?
No.
I want all of Dan Campbell. I will say this: I have like a personal rankings list of winners and losers once we removed COVID masks, and Matt LaFleur was on my list of winners after we removed COVID masks. Because before you would only see half of people's faces when they had the COVID mask. Matt LaFleur, winner.
Oh, and when he took it off, you realize what a good-looking man he is.
Kevin Stefanski, loser.
Right.
Yeah,
but Dan Campbell never wore a mask. That's why I want him to be my coach. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that's actually accurate, but I believe. I'll go down that path with you.
It's just the way I imagine it. I have no idea.
His goatee was his mask.
You had him just punching COVID every time he saw it. Whoops.
You just kicked the microphone. I mean,
we're good.
Are we?
I have no idea. Me and Billy are taking Dan Campbell. That's who we're taking.
Yeah. Fuentes, you got an answer?
Lefleur.
I think I'm with you. Fuentes.
Yep. Little now or never for LeFleur.
Wow, that's a question.
I mean,
seriously, he's been to championship games with Aaron Rodgers. Now he has a great young quarterback who's sitting out because, unlike Tua, he knows how to negotiate and do business. I mean, now or never.
Yeah.
I mean, now that Jordan Love is something, we didn't know if he was something before.
Well, something or nothing. This is a big year to find out.
Let me tell you, we're rolling with the games today.
Big year to find out something or nothing, and then if it's nothing, who's to blame?
My favorite part of the show so far is in the second segment. Billy goes, "I'm not a man of games," when that's literally all we've been doing for the past 3 weeks.
Well, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
I do what needs to be done, whether I'm a man of games or not. Sometimes if I'm asked to become a man of games, I'll become a man of games. But those that know me know I'm not a man that's a man of games.
You're a serious man. Listen, we're just filling time until the games actually start. The real games.
I think that this is just filling time. I think that we're doing a quality program here.
Matt LaFleur is my answer. Matt LaFleur.
I agree.
Yeah, okay. More likely.
Huh. More likely to get his contract issues resolved by the start of the season. Tua or Stephen A. Smith?
Wow. I mean, Stephen A. is a guy, he will negotiate, and he will negotiate some more. He will take his time.
Stephen A. is not getting taken advantage of because he's too nice, the way Billy says Tua is.
That's what I'm saying. So Stephen A. will take his time, and he will get it exactly right. Tua's going to accept whatever the hell they give him. So that's my answer.
So you think Tua's going to get his contract resolved quicker than Stephen A?
Yeah, just because Tua wants to play football. He's a nice guy. He wants to be there. He wants to play quarterback for this team, and therefore he will take a contract for a lot less than he should take. Yes.
Yeah. I'll go to it too, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen A. loves this. He loves the negotiation. He loves the public negotiation. This is going to drag out for years.
He's in it for the chase.
Yes.
I'm kind of in on Stu's, like, the Dolphins are waiting for Dak thing. So I don't think because if you're the Dolphins, you would
have signed them already.
Correct. And like, you're not so you're waiting around for all these guys to get paid, knowing every one of those guys that get paid. Like, Tua led the league in passing last year. Yeah. So he has the most leverage in terms of what I've done. Like, if you're going to do that, like, what does Jordan Love have to stand on? He has 1 year. They actually went to the NFC Championship game. It was an up and down year. But Tua, like, led the league in passing.
Yeah.
He has, like, all the legs to stand on. You're still not giving him a deal. So the Dolphins are like, well, he's going to play whether you pay him or not. So we might as well just wait around, see if Dallas fumbles a bag, and then you're in on that. Because if the Dolphins can't just punt on Tua, because punting on Tua means you're punting on Tyreek Hill. That means you gave Waddle all this money for nothing. So it's like, I don't know. I think
Dak in free agency is going to cost a lot more than Tua resigning.
But I feel
no doubt about it. But the sit and wait game is a dangerous game because keep in mind, Fuentes, maybe they start 1-3, but then Nick Saban takes over. So,
that's true. What if they call Nick Saban's like, I'm going back to where it all started. Right. I'm going to take Miami to the promised land.
Yeah.
Right.
Mike McDaniel's crying in an airport somewhere.
Right. And then Dak wants to stay in Dallas.
And hey, Nick Saban and Tua relationship.
Right.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Mind blowing.
Look at you.
I will
say. This is what more Mikely's meant to do.
Yeah. I will say this. He did lead the league in passing last season. It was a bit of a down year in terms of league leaders, in terms of passing. It's been, It is the lowest passing yards per season since 2017 when Tom Brady led with 4,500. He had 4,600 in 2023. But just leading the league in passing, in 2019, Jameis Winston led the league in passing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and in 2020, he was on the Saints.
So what you're saying is the Dolphins need to call Jameis Winston if this Tua thing doesn't work out.
Let me tell you something.
Electric.
I'm a big Jameis guy. I love Jameis.
Billy loved Jameis. Now, Billy, I believe Jameis was replaced by Tom Brady.
Big Jameis guy. Yeah, I mean,
that's right. He was.
That'll do it.
That's a good point.
That'll do it. That will do it.
Yeah.
He also led the league in interceptions.
I know. It was a year. What a ride.
It was a roller coaster
What
year.
a ride that was for famous Jameis.
You got to pay to play, you know?
Yeah. Anyway,
More likely.
Yeah.
Okay. More likely to repeat as their version of player of the year, Christian McCaffrey or Myles Garrett?
Ooh. That's a good question.
I'm going to say Myles Garrett.
Why?
I feel like his job is just dependent on him being a beast and dominating guys one-on-one, where McCaffrey needs a lot of things to fall into place. He needs a decent.
And he's good at that.
Yeah, he needs, but he needs like some good blocking. I mean, the scheme is there for him. Like I thought he was going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl if they would have won. So but I think Myles Garrett more likely.
I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey, not because you said Myles Garrett, and I want to go the opposite way. That offense is set up for McCaffrey to be the guy and to have big years, especially with Brock Purdy as the quarterback. So I'm going to say McCaffrey.
I am going to say Myles Garrett, and you're going to think I'm crazy for the reason, but I was going to do it because of health, which is crazy because Myles Garrett always has an injury history.
He always has a little nick, though. He always has like a little nick, he has like a little bit of a shoulder
McCaffrey
thing.
does as well, by the way. He's been injured throughout his career.
Christian McCaffrey has some bumps and bruises along the way also, but I'm going to go with Myles Garrett.
All right. Okay. We have
Last
one more?
Yeah, sure. More likely to be on their current team next year, T. Higgins or Brandon Ayuk?
This year.
Next year.
2025 season.
They're not getting traded. They're not getting cut.
Oh,
okay.
So we're hopping in the time machine.
So 2025 season is what you're saying.
Yep. Looking ahead.
Already on to next season, huh?
Looking ahead.
I can't get to this season quick enough. I mean, you're on to next season?
I'm going to say Ayuk.
He'll stay with the Niners?
I think he will, and it's not for the reason that you might think. I don't think that it's going to be because he's happy. I think it's going to be because of, I believe, private conversations that we've had here. I think Stugotz has said it. Who is he to be making trade requests? I'm pretty sure that's the comment that's gone around like, let's make a top 5 list of people who shouldn't be making trade requests, and he is on the top of the list, as you have said. So I think he will be on this team. Yeah. Not very happy, but he will still be remaining on this team.
I'm going to go T. Higgins because who the hell would leave Joe Burrow?
I'm going to say Brandon Ayuk just because T. Higgins is already franchise tagged. Jamar Chase is in front of him. Jamar Chase is not going anywhere. If you're going to give a receiver money, it's going to be Jamar Chase. It's not going to be T. Higgins. And also, T. Higgins said this might be the final ride. So all those things together,
he said might be the final ride. That's negotiating right there.
But he's
okay?
want,
it's negotiating ploy. Right?
I'm a T. Higgins
when you have
guy.
Jamar Chase, when you have Chase, that makes your job easier. If T. Higgins thinks he's a number 1, maybe he goes elsewhere.
That's what I think he's thinking.
I like being a number 2. Let Jamar Chase have all the attention and expectations. Have T. Higgins over here playing with a great quarterback. He stays there.
I want to do a new game.
Oh,
it's called. Can I ask you guys a question?
Oh, I like this.
Like that.
I like this game, and yes, you can.
Yes.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Is requesting a trade worth anything anymore?
No.
I remember when players used to request a trade, and then it was like, well, we got to trade him now, and now it's just like it's the next step of deleting all the stuff on Instagram. Like it seems like it's just a nothing thing.
That's my favorite move. The deleting everything on Instagram.
Well, yeah, that's everybody's favorite move because
it's so stupid.
It's the first shot though. It's always the first shot. Like, oh, wait a minute. This player might be unhappy. He deleted all the stuff. That's and then the negotiation.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want Bleacher Report all over you, just delete all your stuff on Instagram and take the Baltimore Ravens out of your bio. All of a sudden, it's on fire.
Yep. If you're the person that is searching the bios to make sure that Baltimore Ravens is still on it, get your priorities in order.
You think there's an intern that walks into the Bleacher Report office in the morning and they're like, "Hey, we need you to check every player's bio.
Get something to do.
Make sure
it's too much.
Yes,
it's too much." Anyway,
you think a general manager has ever said, "Hey, he deleted us from his Instagram"?
I do think
John Lynch is walking around. Oh no!
I do think there's
guys, help! McCaffrey deleted us out of the bio.
I think there is a general manager. I don't know which one, but I think there definitely is one that's like,
guys, red flag. Oh,
we're in trouble now.
Guys, oh my God, you won't believe it. Austin Eckler's
it would have to be a younger one, right?
Or an older one that just doesn't understand how easy it is to do that. And then just restore it immediately.
We have Billy's story of the week to get to.
Ooh.
I'm very excited about that. We have a Fuentes top 5 to get to as well. And we have some other stuff as well. But Fuentes, when do you want to do your top 5? Do you want to do it now? Do you want to do it next segment?
Well, we got a minute left in this segment, but then that's going to leave a lot to do in the 4th segment. So we have to filibuster here for a minute.
Okay.
Or we can just go to the next segment. Let's go to the next segment. All right, running out of time here on God Bless Football, so we're going to jump right into my top 5, and it's top 5 teams I'm worried about headed into training camp, as we know now.
Wow, that's the top 5 I was hoping for. Yeah. You teased it earlier. I was hoping.
All teams have reported. All teams have reported training camp.
Worried how? Can't wait.
Yes. Oh, this is great. Beautiful.
We're going to start with the number 5, Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh. Okay.
You guys saw Joe Burrow's haircut?
Yeah.
I agree with you. You know what? I was thinking, why the Bengals? They should not be in a top 5. Anyone's top 5 of teams they're concerned about because the talent is the roster is so loaded with talent. But I did see Joe Burrow's haircut, and now I do agree with you. Yes. I am concerned about the Bengals as well.
Questionable haircut.
Not his wrist, not his calf, his hair.
No.
Got it.
Yes.
Coming off an injury, but that haircut. T. Higgins on a tag. Jamar Chase has some contract stuff. Zach Moss in the backfield. Joe Mixon's in Houston. A little worried about Cincinnati Bengals.
For those who haven't seen his haircut, he looks like Eminem in like 1999.
Correct. Very
so last week we spoke about buzzing your hair, and since then it's been bleached as well. So.
Yeah, buzzed and bleached.
Yeah.
So the double waiver.
Concerns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Concerns. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills. The narrative of the last few years, get Josh Allen help, even when he had Stephon Diggs, and now he has Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Mac Hollins, rookie Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Chase Claypool.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. He
has
less help than he's ever had.
Yeah, not great. Yeah. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
Say it.
Yeah, they locked in Justin Jefferson, but I don't know. JJ McCarthy, a guy? JJ McCarthy, a guy?
New game, guy or not a guy? How about that?
Sam Darnold, we know, is not a guy.
Don't you say a bad word about Sam Darnold. We don't
know if Sam Darnold's a guy yet, okay? You have to see him play somewhere else other than New York.
He's like on his 4th team.
There's still a shot.
And Carolina.
Yeah. And San Francisco.
Right. He had some moments in San Francisco.
Other than that, though.
Exactly. And then the Packers are rising. The Lions are an NFC Championship team. The Bears have gotten better. Worried about the Minnesota Vikings.
Why are you defending Sam Darnold, Stugotz?
Number 2, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Wow.
Do you know who their big offseason signing was at receiver this year? They drafted a kid.
Nope.
They drafted the kid from Georgia, Ladd McConkey. But
they lost Keenan Allen. Yeah.
They lost Keenan Allen, and they lost Mike Williams.
And Mike Williams.
Yeah. So who was their big splash in the receiver pool this season?
Ooh.
DJ Chark.
Oh.
Signed DJ Chark. They also got the broken pinball machine parts from the Ravens, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins in their backfield after losing Austin Eckler. So if Jim Harbaugh can find a way to make the offense tick, Coach of the Year.
Okay.
Is DJ the number 1 in Los Angeles?
No, I'd probably say it's the rookie kid.
Okay.
Ladd
I'm
McConkey.
just thinking about fantasy drafts. Just because he's Herbert's number 1 or 2.
They still have
DJ Shark is going to be taken 10 rounds before he should be taken.
They still have Everett, right?
Gerald Everett.
The tight end, Gerald Everett, right? So I can't believe DJ Chark would be the guy. No, they still have the other guys, too. The guys that nobody really cares about. What's his name? Palmer?
Well, they got the first rounder they drafted last year, Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, but rough times for the Chargers offense. And number 1, we've already kind of talked about my Miami Dolphins, not because of Tua. That is a big thing, but the D-line is in shambles. The pass rush is not there. They had 2 guys suffer season-ending injuries. Chubb coming back from an injury. He's going to be back late. I don't know what Jalen Phillips is going to look like. They just re-signed Ogba, who they clearly didn't want, and they only signed him because Shaq Barrett retired. So I'm worried about the pass rush. So those are my 5
But you got rid of Vic Frangio.
Right.
We did. We got rid of Frangio, but a chef's only as good as his ingredients.
Wow.
I do like that because those are 5 teams that have expectations, yet you're saying that you're still concerned about them headed in. Let's get to Billy's story of the week. It has turned into my favorite segment here on God Bless Football.
All right, Stugotz, this week's story of the week. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
And this is going to go into consideration for story of the month. If you remember last week's story.
Good.
It's
a week month.
Yeah. You haven't heard the story yet. Come on, this could be a great story. You never know. So, if you remember last week's story of the week, it was that Patrick Mahomes and his wife were expecting their third child, and Patrick announced this would be it. This is the last child that the Mahomes family would be having. Now, this week's story of the week, going up against that one for story of the month, is Lamar Jackson and Troy Aikman are in a legal battle over the number 8. Troy Aikman recently tried to set up a trademark for the word 8, EIGHT, so that he could use it on, different things. And Lamar Jackson, there are reports that he sued Troy Aikman, and other ones that he has kind of put in a complaint against a notice of opposition at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office because he thinks that people might get confused with Troy Aikman using the trademark 8, thinking that it is him. So, Stugotz, one number 8 is kind of in a legal battle with another number 8 so that there's no confusion over who is number 8.
A couple of number 8s cutting it up, huh?
Yeah.
You think they should just split the difference and both get 4?
When you hear the number 8, who do you think of? Do you think of Troy Aikman or do you think of Lamar Jackson? Or do you think of someone else?
I happen to have a list of top 5 athletes to wear the number 8 of all time.
Wow.
And perhaps that will settle it. You'll find something within there that will settle this debate.
Do you have any OLIs on that?
I don't. I just have a straight 5 for you.
Oh, because some would think maybe a top 8 of the number 8.
Yeah, how did you not do a top 8 number 8?
Top 5.
Listen, I'm sorry. I have these top 5 lists. I was not prepared to do a top 8. I'll add 3 names to it if you'd like me to do it.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. It's all right. Don't worry about that.
It's a little late now.
You're top 5. I'm glad you.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
Look,
I mean, don't tell me it's too late.
Lucky us that you just had that list handy.
I know that's what I'm saying, but it's not a top 8 list. It's a top 5 list. But if you want me to add 3, I can add 3. Okay, I'm happy to do it.
Why did you have that list waiting by you? If you don't mind me asking.
I have it's always by me.
You have all the numbers ready to go.
Yes, I have all the numbers. Well, you go to number 22. I have it for you. Evan Smith. There you go.
All right.
Okay. OLI, by the way, Yogi Berra. How about that?
You do have an
Wow. Yogi OLI.
Yeah, I went OLI. Even though I said I didn't have one 5 seconds ago. Number 8. Number 8, Willie Stargell. Number 7, Joe Morgan.
I'm so confused. Hold on a second. You had a top 5. I said, are there any OLIs? You said no, just a straight top 5. And then I said, you'd think you'd have an 8. And you said, no, only 5.
But I felt bad because you were disappointed. I didn't have 8, and now I wanted to give you 8, and now you don't want 8.
You're now giving us 9, though.
That's a fair. That's a fair point.
So is your top 9 number 8?
That's an odd list to have handy.
It is, but I'm glad you had it. All right, what was number 7?
You know what? Forget you. I'm doing top 5, straight 5.
No,
okay?
no,
number 5.
No, finish your top 9.
I can't go back again.
Now I need to know what 7 and 6 are.
Okay, I messed up. I didn't mean OLI. I meant number 8.
Okay.
So whatever the first name is that I said, I think it was Yogi Berra. He's number 8 on the list.
Okay? It was Yogi Berra.
It was. Yogi Berra is number 8. Number 7 is Willie Stargell. How about that? Huh?
Number 6.
Number 6 is Joe Morgan. Number 5, Ray Guy, the greatest punter of all time. Number 4, Andre Dawson, who won an MVP. He had no business winning on a last place team with the Chicago Cubs, but still a great number 8.
Hall of Famer.
Number 3, Carl Yastrzemski. Yes. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. And number 1, Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
The greatest number 8 and the
Troy
greatest number
Aikman
24.
not even on the list.
That's right.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Get out of here, Troy.
Troy Aikman is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. I'm sorry.
Great.
He is.